Okay, I'm back, you guys. Sorry about that. I had to take that call, and it was somebody that had called me back by accident. So I wanted to come back and speak real quick about greedy, selfish, delusional trolls of God, is what I wanted to talk about and sort of deal with and admonish some of these people for years and years of stalking and harassing and harassment, um, and just to have a general conversation about that. Um, so, you have people on here that are extremely disrespectful. You're disrespectful to people's audiences, and what they are doing. But I wanted to come and speak about this so called God that you're talking about, because there was a troll that, uh, came into my chat room that obviously wanted to interrupt my conversation and try to shame me uh, for using my natural gifts and my knowledge to help others. Clearly, you wanted to have a conversation with me. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about God, the so called God that you speak of. Okay. Um, Everybody has their own individual relationship with God. And I think that we all know that. And your relationship with God, it to me is one that is very greedy, very selfish, very genocidal. Now, I could detect and pick up a masculine energy from that troll account hiding behind a woman's name. Okay. And so let's talk about it. If you truly had God in your life, or if you felt like witchcraft was somehow bad, then why do you hang around the channels of witches? Okay. If you feel like witches are not of God, and if you feel like you have a problem with witches, why would you be on a witch's channel? I'm going to tell you why. Because you are either a competitor, or you are someone that shares a different opinion than I do. Your relationship with God is very different than everyone else's relationship with God. So your God may tell you to go and harass people, okay, and try to force your spiritual beliefs on them, okay. Your God may tell you to be very selfish and greedy. My God tells me to give and to help people. That's what my God tells me. So your relationship with whatever you perceive as God is going to be different from some other people's, which I personally believe that what your relationship with God is hate. Okay. And which is your choice, which is why you've been stalking me on this website for several years now. You are a very selfish person. Your God is very selfish, whoever that is, because your God is okay with starving children. Your God is okay with abuse. Your God is okay with enslaving the minds and the bodies and spirits of people. This is your God, your version of God. Your God forces you to follow the wrong path to where you can actually take a look at the world around you and see many, many people suffering and not care. To see children suffering because of confused parents. You and your God, whoever this God is that you speak of, that takes care of you in whatever way that God takes care of you. You seem to not care about others, right? You don't. Your God has made this world a war zone. Your God has polluted the oceans and destroyed the soil. My God is trying to clean it up. Your God has done what? I would really like for these people to, because I'm going to tell you what the truth of the matter is, and I speak for many, many people. Looking at this world, how long do you expect for people to trust in your God that you keep speaking of? And, you trust in your God because, you are probably safe and warm and in your own home. I would hope so. I would hope that your God has provided you with food, shelter, and warmth. But your God tells you to be selfish and to not offer anybody any real solution. So I'd really like to know, looking at the world, how many people do you think share the same opinion? Good people who have been stolen from, who have been robbed, raped. You explain to me exactly who your God is, because I would like to speak to them. And I would like to ask them, why are there spirits and entities? Why does God allow it? You want to come and talk to me about God, which I have no problem with God. But which God are you talking about exactly? Is it the God that allows entities to rape women and children? Is it the God that allows people to be murdered and killed and die of sicknesses and go through pain and suffering every day? Please explain to me which God this is while you selfishly say, oh, well, God this and God that, while you sit and watch people suffer. Huh? Does your God heal the world, or does your God cause more suffering to this world? Whom exactly is this God that you are talking about? I'm curious. I mean, I blocked 2 of your troll accounts, so the floor is open for you. You kind of didn't have a place at the last live that I was doing. Okay, so the last time I checked, my God wanted me to send out that message in the last live that I was doing. Come in here, explain to me your God, and why does your God allow hunger? Huh? Go ahead. I'm sure you have plenty of troll accounts. Let's talk about God. Hmm? Does your God tell you to come and hate on small businesses? Is that what your God tells you to do? And were you from the church? Let me ask you a question. Why would you be in a chat room of a high priestess instead of out in the community giving away turkeys for Thanksgiving? I'm a little confused. Your God tells you to come into a chat room, but your God doesn't have you out doing community outreach, making sure that a child doesn't starve to death. Can we please talk about your God? The floor is open. Here's the chat room right here. Matter of fact, again, let's stop hiding behind troll accounts. Let's drop your link, okay? Because, see, here's the whole thing about it. Okay, there will be no more psychic attacks. Okay, so your God tells you to psychic attack people. Wow. Your God tries to tell you to interrupt the business practices of a high priestess. Your God told you to do that? Or is this your sick, twisted, perverted version of God? Because I'm going to tell you straight up and down, I don't trust your God. Looking at the world, your God, whatever that God is, I ain't seen that God and nobody else has. Or is your God manifesting in the rape of little children and women and men? Let's keep in mind men get raped too. Does your God cause people to be beaten to death? Is that what it is? Let's talk about your God, hon. While you're worried about what I'm talking about and you're worried about what I'm saying, explain to me what God that is creating all of this hell on earth. Come on up here and tell me what that is. And why isn't your God powerful enough? You claim that this is your God, even though I know my God. And my God has freed many people from torment and slavery and degradation and has freed people. You explain to me how your God is better than mine. Let's debate on gods, hon. Let's talk about this. Because from what it looks like to me, I'm going to expose this. Your God is a troll, which is an insult to God. Your God is not an all-powerful being. Your God is a troll, right? And the last time I checked, trolls don't like human beings at all, right? So explain to me the God that would try to stop the progression of the world. Is that God? So, and did you read a Bible and decided to misinterpret it? Did you read the Bible? So you read the Bible, right? A troll read the Bible and you decided that you were going to misinterpret that Bible, didn't you? That's what you did. You read a Bible and you misinterpreted it because you can't comprehend the Bible at all, right? Is that what happened? And then you said, then you looked around at the world and you said, my God, Jamila, High Priestess Jamila offers classes and apprenticeships for incarnated angels, empaths, and people that are supposed to heal the world. So your God told you to come in here and try to disrupt, right? Tell me which God that is. Is that the God of the Bible? Or is it just merely a hustle for you? What about all of the other people in this world? Oh, so let me tell you, you're among the 144,000. Is that what it is, hon? You're amongst the 144,000. Wow, there's trillions of people on this earth. I mean, goodness gracious. Your God said only 144,000 would be saved. So, what about the rest of the people that are outside of that 144,000? So, you're amongst the 144,000? Hmm. Is that what that is? Or were you trying to send me some bad energy, which you didn't get to send me? I'm actually quite amused. Okay. But I decided to come back and speak to you since you have a serious hard on for High Priestess Jamila. So your God is weak, then. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that your God can't actually lead? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that your God can't feed trillions of people? Hmm? We all know that in the food industry, billions of dollars worth of food goes to waste and rots in a freaking factory or a warehouse instead of going to starving children. Did your God sign off on that, honey? Huh? So your God allows you to troll and make a fool of yourself, but your God doesn't allow you to reveal yourself. Because if you have a problem with me and my spirit, you'll have to go and speak to, I don't know, maybe Hecate. Okay? Those are my gods. How about you go and you speak to Santa Moeta? Okay? Because I'm a polytheist, which means that I can work with one God. I'm sorry, more than one God. Okay? So your God allows you to troll people, but not actually give testimonials. Because I believe that you came in shortly after I gave a testimonial for witchcraft, didn't you? Let me ask you a question. Does your God acknowledge or even like the millions of people to date in a $1 billion industry? Okay. We're not talking about religion or even churches. We're talking about my industry that I am in is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? It is. So being that that is what it is, your God has a problem with that because your God is selfish. Is that the God of this planet? Is that the God of heaven, the God of hell? You say God, but I'm going to need for you to be a little bit more specific as to what you're speaking about. Because from what I can see, most people in this world don't even trust your God anymore. I mean, honestly, especially during times like these when we're in a recession. Did your God cause the recession because we're all being bad kids? I'd like for you to why does your God allow you to troll but not actually come in here and have a decent conversation? Is it because your God didn't, you know what, I'm gonna tell you about your God. Your God didn't give you a purpose. Because when you come in here trying to derail my conversation, well, that means that you have no purpose. Your God did not give you a life purpose at this point, and that's sad. Your God, right? That's your God that didn't give you a life purpose. Your God didn't give you anything to do because you were bored today, weren't you? Yep. That's sad. You say God, 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 but why didn't God have anything else better for you to be doing? That's a valid question. I mean, honestly, I have a laundry list of things that I've got to get done today. What did your God give you to do today? Nothing except for come in a chat room and say, God. My goodness, if you are a nurse or a firefighter or a doctor or a surgeon or a witch or a high priest or a high priestess or a firefighter or a police officer or a teacher or a daycare worker, a social worker, a tree line cutter, an electrician, a HVAC specialist, if you work at a factory, if you make plastics, if you work at the Pizza Hut around the corner, why? Hey, this troll named Kristen, their God, we're all pretty much lucky because God gave us a purpose. But Kristen, the troll, why is it that you didn't get a purpose today? Why is it that you still have not found a purpose? I would say that you're praying to the wrong God. In fact, I would guess that you're not talking to God at all, seeing as that you have absolutely no purpose. That's pretty sad. I would say that maybe perhaps you should talk to some of my gods and maybe they'll help you find your purpose. That's what I would say. Okay. Odwin said they terrorists. Hold on. Yeah, well, they are terrorists. They are. And my goodness, I can't find the purpose for a terrorist. So I was right in my assessment. If what you're saying is correct and they are factually terrorists, there's no purpose for that person. So I guess maybe whatever it is, I my whole point that I'm saying is that I truly want to make the world better. I want to do my part to make the world better. Oh yeah, I know Odwin the boss, and you know what? That's why I'm always willing to help a lot of the witches. I'm willing to help any YouTuber, and so that's why I was saying that. But especially if you have a website and you advertise your website on YouTube, um, I don't know if it's so weird, and I'm waiting to hear back from my insurance agent. Um, they actually cover small businesses from advertising injury. I wonder if that's always been put into place, because this is exactly, if I were to come here looking for a spiritual service and I connected with somebody, then understand that, yeah, they do try to injure you in advertising. Yeah. And in many, many different ways. So you're correct about that. Yeah. They can't psychic attack me. I'm very protected. Um, but, I think that there are a lot of people that will try to hide behind what they call God, but that's a very broad term. So that's why I said, well, which God is this? Okay. Which God, which God is this that would allow so much suffering with no solution? That's what, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's what I'm talking about. They just, they say God, 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 and it's like, well, I mean, most witches believe in God. I mean, you would think that they would be on an atheist channel. I'm not an atheist. Okay. I'm not an atheist. Hold on real quick. Hold on, y'all. And so I don't believe, and this is what I want to say about God. I don't believe that God wants to see people suffer. I don't believe that, but I do believe that God helps those that helps themselves. Them not your people, them folks. Well, I didn't want to really get into it while I was live earlier because from what my God told me is that my gods, they want as many people freed from these, from this stuff. They want them freed because if they're not freed from these things, then we might as well just give up all hope. Okay, we might as well just say screw it because in about another 10 years, it'll be literally the walking dead. Okay. So, it's a fact that many churches don't even do exorcisms. I still think that the Catholic Church does it. I haven't heard of any. Um, I haven't heard of any churches like Baptist churches, unless it is some of the other more alternative practices like, voodoo and hoodoo witch doctors that help people. So, that's all I'm saying, you know. Well, you know what? It's interesting you would mention that. I guess I'll read that in the Bible because, that'll give me some clues as far as, what's going on with that. But, so I just, as these people go around talking about God, 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 the world just gets worse and worse every single day. And I'd say it's a delusion. That's what I would say. I would say that it's a delusion. And the last time I checked, we were supposed to be helping each other. That's the last time I checked. Now, I do charge for my services, yeah, because I can't practice from you out of a, in the woods, I would still have to have overhead. So, but I mean, if I don't know, um, I'd say that everybody has their own relationship with God. Is it not safe to say that? And I think that if your relationship with God is, harassing people on the internet, I would say that you don't really have the best relationship with God, right? That's what I would say. So anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to eat this piece of cake and give some offerings to my spirits. Um, yeah. Y'all have a good day. Have a happy Monday. Blessings.